All right, so Plugin Alliance has a new delay plugin. Like, that's just what we all need, is another digital delay plugin. But there are some pretty cool features that I've found useful, so I thought we'd do a quick review on it. Before we do get started, if you need any songs mixed or mastered or are looking for vocal presets, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so here is the plugin. The middle section has what you would expect from any basic delay: your sync, eighth notes, quarter notes, whatever timing you want, how wide you want it to be, the mix knob, pan, which is cool. If you want to just have a delay, just go one time, which I do sometimes on your left speaker. You can pan this to the left and it'll just be on the left. Feedback, obviously, how many times it delays. Over here to the groove, if you have an eighth note delay, but you don't want it to be quite on time, you can make it swing a little bit with the groove and the offset here. Up here we have pattern, you have stereo and mono and ping pong and crisscross, so depending on what kind of delay you want, you can switch it with a routing. This ratio is interesting. Right now it's 1:1, and as you can hear, with this a monovocal coming right back to us. But if you do this like 1:2 or 2:3, it will do like 2 delays on one side and 3 on the other. Which is kind of an interesting way to get some different flavors, as you say. This left-right offset, if you want it more of a stereo sounding delay, you know, a quasi-stereo, by offsetting one side a bit, you can turn this up. And now it sounds like it's more coming from coming to us from both speakers. You have modulation amounts here, and then here are the different sort of presets or settings you have. You have this air, which is your basic clear, kind of clean delay. Then magnetic, which is more of a tape sound. And if you look here, you have different kinds of tape sound: cassette, space, reel, whatever it is. Circuit, which are different kinds of circuits, and this can get kind of like a little more distorted, like Aether or Ether. I'm terrible at spelling. I'm sure one of you guys will tell me how bad I did it in the comments below. But this is like a pitch delay. And then lastly, you have reverse, which is a reverse delay. Pretty straightforward. You can freeze it if you want. And diffusing adds a bit of a tail to it. Which is cool. I wish it wasn't so long. You can tweak that here as well, but it is what it is. I would love just a delay with a cool ass, reverb setting at the back. Be perfect. Is what it is. Pre and post filters, which are always helpful. And then here we have a ducker, which you can use on the actual track, on your actual vocal track if you want, and just have it come in when you have the amount and release setting set. We'll check that out in a second. Now let's get into listening some examples. I got this song by my buddy Who Kills Kenny, who I mixed a while ago. And this is something I always do just to show you guys. Here's the main vocal. Let's close this for a second. Here's the main vocal. And then what I'll do, once I've finished mixing the vocal, I'll export just that single vocal and put it on a new track. And then I'll drag pieces down for delay throws. So for instance, right here we have the delay is delaying with this BX pulsar. So you can hear that. Now let's turn it up a bit and play with this a bit. So right now we just have a basic regular delay. Let's check it out with the circuit. And then let's go modded, make it super distorted. Or the magnetic. Let me slow the delay so you guys can hear it better too. So compared to the air. Now, the one thing I'm not crazy about this magnetic is it does bring some hiss sound to it. And Jesus, in 2025, you would think we'd be able to turn off the hiss on things, but it has hiss. You don't hear the hiss so much on circuit, but you do get it on magnetic. For some reason, people just want to leave you with tape sound. I don't want that. It's there anyway. And then as you can hear that there. So there's the different flavors, and we kind of listened to these before, but let's go back to air. And I want to show you the coolest part about this, which is the sequencer. So right now we just have this basic delay, but we can spice it up a lot with a sequencer. So we have the first one. We're just going to go right, left, center, center, left, right, and like really just move the vocal around quite a bit. So you can do all kinds of cool tricks. Another one I did the other day was 2 lefts and then 2 rights. And then that kind of feels like it moves across the speaker, especially for a short delay like this. We just want like phantom, 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 phantom. And then this is what I always do on a delay is add some filter so it sounds different than the vocal. So let's check this out with the vocal and everything.
She was speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and she was speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care about.
Pretty cool, right? And then we could add even just a little bit of diffusion to give it a little more like tail to it.
She was speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care about him. She don't got no game, she don't know how to get no bread out of him.
And then we could this, and this is what I would do. I'll take this and bring this down here.
Gang, she don't know how to get no bread out of him. I'ma show you that it's true what they said about him. He ain't do you right.
But see how that diffuser is just a little too long for me, so I would always just put a delay after
In
that.
a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care about him. She don't got no game, she don't know how to get no bread out of him. I'ma show you that it's true what they said about.
So lots of cool things you can do, and then we could even, you know, use the magnetic and change that.
In a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young.
And this gives us a different flavor. So pretty cool delay that you can switch it around so fast and get the different flavors from, you know, tape delay or a clean delay. And then with the sequencer, I really do dig that. Now, one last thing before we get out of here, let me show you the ducker. Now, let's say we were just on the vocal and we didn't print this like I usually do. You could just move this to another track, his other vocal, right? And add the ducker, which is there, and check it out.
Red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care about him.
You still hear the vocal like it always would be, but now with the ducker, it still plays back.
Speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and.
And we could change the time,
Speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care.
or even go to ping pong,
Speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care.
or crisscross.
Speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care about him. She don't got no game. She speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care about him. She
And you can pull the amount back too if you want.
speeding in a red phantom. He ain't had fun, young and care about him.
So lots of cool things you can do with just that. All right, so that is the BX Pulsar. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think this might get some use around here. I'll use this just like I did here for delay throws. I like that it has a left pan, which is a trick I like to do with a certain word, just one word. You just want one little ear candy in there. Just put it to the left really quick. That will be a cool feature to use on that. And because if you are a subscriber to the Plugin Alliance subscription, you get these plugins like throughout the year anyway. It's always nice to have a plugin come into your inbox and you don't actually at the moment have to pay for it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you need your songs mixed and mastered, hit me up at mixedandmastermysong.com. Talk to you guys soon.